This is RTV6 News at 5, working for you.
Good afternoon, and now at 5, I'm Rafael Sanchez in for Mark Mullins.
And I'm Amanda Starantino.
It is a push to improve safety for thousands of kids that ride a school bus.
And Indiana Attorney General Curtis Hill gave school districts the okay to add a stop arm up to 6 feet long, and the extended stop arm has already been installed on buses in other states.
And now Indiana's schools are telling RTV6's Cameron Riddle it's an idea they think could reduce those stop arm violations.
School buses are already one of the biggest and brightest vehicles on the road, but many bus drivers will tell you sometimes it seems as if the big yellow bus is invisible. Katrina Falk is a longtime school bus driver and is now the Assistant Transportation Director for Shelby Eastern Schools. She takes pride in her buses, but despite how clean, shiny, and well-lit her buses are, it's not always enough to stop trucks and cars from passing her school buses when the red lights are flashing and the stop arm is out. That's why she was among the transportation directors to review a new stop arm that extends up to 6 feet from the bus and into a lane of traffic. Falk says adding a 6-foot stop arm might be the next tool drivers need to stop for the bus.
We have dual stop arms on all of our newer buses with strobing LED lights as well. We have full reflective tape packages, strobe lights that stay on in the mornings. We're doing everything that we can to make this vehicle as visible as possible.
The extended stop arm is made by Bus Safety Solutions and costs about $1,500 to install. The company says school districts in other states that have already started using the extended stop arm have seen a 55 to 85% reduction in stop arm violations. In Shelby County, Cameron Riddle, RTV6.
Thanks, Cameron. And a school bus stop arm currently extends 18 inches from the bus. The extended stop arm reaches between 4.5 and 6.5 feet.
And now at 5, we're in the Storm Team 6 Tracking Center, and for the first time, you could really feel that layer of humidity really just smack you on the head when you walked outside. I would prefer like not the smack, Kevin.
You come walking like this and boom,
pow,
you hit that.
What happened?
So 105, that was one of the peak heat index values.
Slow down.
That's it. Heat index value for Indianapolis and also Lafayette. Actual temperature 95 in Muncie. It's as uncomfortable as it gets. And no surprise, we've had some downpours pop up. Some lightning just starting there in Hartford City and areas just south of there toward Muncie. These downpours will continue to develop and then move to the east. They'll become a little more widespread in the next few hours. Some welcome rain in spots. We may see some gusty winds. It's an instant sweat as you go outside. Temperatures will slowly cool tonight. 89 the current temperature with a 98-degree heat index. You still see triple-digit heat index values across central Indiana. As far as our severe weather threat, marginal or low risk. Temperatures very warm all evening. Scattered thunderstorms and humid.
Now at 5, new details. A new trial is expected against a man accused of being a drug kingpin. Richard Grundy was in federal court today when a mistrial was declared. The judge over the case will not let either side talk about what happened. Grundy allegedly was the leader of a drug operation in Indiana selling cocaine, meth, and heroin. His trial was supposed to take 6 weeks. The U.S. Attorney's Office says a new trial date will be scheduled without delay, adding that the government has no further comment on this situation. We now know the name of the man whose death on the south side of Indianapolis is being investigated as a homicide. The Marion County Coroner's Office identified the victim as 88-year-old Carl Petrov. His body was found Tuesday afternoon inside a home on Union Street, just southeast of Meridian and Pleasant Run Parkway. Police are still looking for suspects today. If you have any information, you're asked to report a tip to Crime Stoppers. That number is 317-262-TIPS.
Tonight, a bank customer who was shot during a robbery today in Muncie is recovering. Police say the robber walked into the Prime Trust Financial Federal Credit Union on South Madison Street and demanded cash. A customer tried to intervene and was shot, but should make a full recovery. Dozens of officers spent hours talking to witnesses and canvassing the area. We are working to learn if the suspect got away with cash and what charges that person could face.
New information on the reality star from Indiana recently arrested on domestic violence charges. Court documents show that teen mom OG star Amber Portwood attacked her boyfriend with a machete and a shoe. Portwood and her boyfriend were going to see fireworks with their 1-year-old son at Geist Bridge on July the 5th when they got stuck in traffic and she became angry. The boyfriend told police that he dropped Portwood off at their home so that she could cool off and then took their son for a drive. When he returned home, he said that Portwood attacked him with a shoe, so he left the house once again.
Domestic violence impacts families all across central Indiana. In 2018, IMPD's domestic violence unit investigated more than 4,600 of these cases. And one area of our city is seeing the highest number right now. RTV6's Nicole Griffin is taking a closer look at these numbers and what one local woman is doing to reach out to victims.
Since October of last year to May of this year, Metro police officers have responded to 724 domestic violence runs just in the 46201 zip code area. This is near Washington Street and State Avenue on the Near East Side. One woman, a local woman who is a domestic violence survivor, wants to do her part to make a difference.
It started off as a bliss. For the first 2 years, everything was great.
When she was just 21 years old, Daniette Smith says the abuse began with her children's father.
The first blow to the face, it actually shifted my cornea. So now I currently have 2 plates in my eye holding my cornea together, to where it switched to gun violence, to where I had a gun placed to my head and told that I would be killed if I left him or left the situation.
She says it continued for 10 years, and finally she knew she needed to get help. She filed a restraining order and contacted the Julian Center, a safe place for survivors of domestic violence.
For me to step into the Julian Center, I knew that I was at my final breaking point. I knew that I was a woman that was fed up, but I had to tell it all. I had to put it all on the table, and that's what a lot of women don't do. They still fear walking in there.
After receiving help, she started an organization called Silent No More. It aims at helping women, men, and teenagers escape abusive relationships.
Just because I am a survivor, I know the effects, I know the feeling, so therefore we're able to just really grab a hold of them and grab a hold of them mentally and let them know, hey, this isn't what you have to do.
The group is holding its second resource walk, targeting the Near East Side. This is where police are seeing the highest number of domestic violence calls. IMPD says a contributing cause is the economic factor. A lot of times people with lower economic means in an area contribute to an increase in domestic violence calls.
We see and we hear your cries, even though it's through data.
The walk will be held July 20th, starting at the corner of Washington Street and State Avenue. They want those impacted by violence to know there are resources and shelters available to help. Nicole Griffin, RTV6.
In our Democracy 2020 coverage, former Indiana State Health Commissioner Dr. Woody Myers is running for governor. Myers announced his campaign in front of the former Wishart Hospital ER in Indianapolis today. He was the youngest state health commissioner in Indiana history, serving under Governors Evan Bayh and Robert Orr. In his campaign announcement today, Myers touted his treatment of Ryan White in the 1980s. White was a 13-year-old boy living with HIV/AIDS in Howard County who fought AIDS-related discrimination in his fight to attend school.
When a decision had to be made about whether or not a boy named Ryan White, who had HIV/AIDS, could attend our public schools, we didn't play politics. We educated a worried public about a new concern, a new disease, and we helped Ryan's new school do the right thing and welcome him with open arms.
Myers is the first Democrat to officially jump into the governor's race, but 2 prominent state lawmakers are also considering a run. Gary State Senator Eddie Melton is believed to be running. He has been touring the state alongside Republican State School Superintendent Jennifer McCormick. She has been mentioned as a possible Democratic running mate. Also considering a run for governor is Democratic Representative Carly Macer of Indianapolis. Governor Holcomb is expected to officially launch his re-election campaign this Saturday during an event at the Hoosier Gymnasium in Knightstown.
As part of our commitment to connect you to the latest new jobs available in central Indiana, tonight Hiring Hoosiers takes you to the city of Beech Grove. The mayor announcing that Amazon will open a new warehouse in Beech Grove. The Amazon building will be about 5,000 square feet and it will create dozens of full and part-time jobs. The site is set to be open later this year. As soon as we hear about job opportunities, we will make sure to let you know.
Heads up on this consumer alert. It's that time of year. Utility bills go up as you try to stay cool on these hot days, and criminals are taking advantage of all of that. IPL is getting an increase of reports about payment scams targeting customers. A person claiming to represent the company threatens to disconnect service if a payment is not made immediately. IPL reminds you it does not require specific methods of payment. And if someone does call you, they will have detailed, accurate information about your account. If you receive a suspicious call, hang up and call 317-261-8222 so that you can check to make sure that the call is legitimate.
And tonight, drivers will get a look at changes coming to I-465 on the south and southwest sides. INDOT plans to add one lane in each direction and improve entrance and exit ramps. There will also be extensive work on bridges. Work is not scheduled to start until 2021. An open house to learn more about the project starts at 6 o'clock tonight at Decatur Central High School, followed by a presentation at 6:30.
Still ahead at 5:30 on RTV6, a major bridge is about to undergo some major construction, and you'll need to know how to get around it. We'll have more information coming up tonight on the News at 5.
In downtown Los Angeles, I'm Romina Puga at the ESPY's red carpet, where athletes are trading their jerseys for tuxedos and evening gowns as they celebrate the biggest night in sports. I'll have all that coming up.
930 champion today.
What a big day in the Big Apple. The World Cup women's soccer champions, they were showered, as you can imagine, with adoration and a lot of confetti as they made their way to the Canyon of Heroes in New York City. And look at the crowd waiting for these young ladies. Thousands of fans screaming with excitement. They lined the parade route. The team rode on floats to City Hall, and co-captain Megan Rapinoe made a grand entrance at a ceremony after their ticker tape parade. The crowd then started chanting equal pay. It's a subject close to the team's heart since they're suing the U.S. Women's Soccer Federation for equal pay.
But it's time to come together. This conversation is at the next step. We have to collaborate. It takes everybody.
We believe at U.S. Soccer that all female athletes deserve fair and equitable pay. And together, I believe we can get this done.
After being showered with one last huge blast of confetti, you see there the World Cup champs. They partied their way off the stage, but there will be no rest for this team. They will attend the ESPY Awards tonight.
Congratulations to them. And you can watch the ESPYs live tonight on RTV6. The annual celebration for excellence in sports performance is being hosted at the Microsoft Theater in Hollywood on ESPN, and ABC's Romina Puga is there.
Her going. Who's that?
Oh.
Trading their jerseys for tuxedos and evening gowns, the world's best athletes are coming together for one of the biggest nights in sports. ESPN's ESPY Awards.
This is an athletic version of the Oscars.
Comedian Tracy Morgan is hosting the 27th annual awards show, sharing this touching message with the nominees.
You are a winner, whether you take home a trophy or not, because of your blood, sweat, and tears.
Among the big names, Simone Biles, Tiger Woods, Kevin Durant, and Sonic Fox, the American esports player. For the first time, gaming professionals will be recognized with their own award category. Tennis legend Serena Williams, nominated for Best Female Tennis Player, an honor she's received 9 times since 2003. But the competition is stiff. Naomi Osaka is one of the most nominated athletes this year, with nods in Best Breakthrough Athlete, Best Female Tennis Player,
Instant star.
and Best Upset for defeating Williams at the 2018 U.S. Open.
Bill Russell makes the basket.
Several honors will be handed out throughout the night, including the Arthur Ashe Award for Courage to Boston Celtics legend Bill Russell. It's been a historic year for sports, so it's sure to be a memorable show. While the night is all about sports, there is a touch of Hollywood glam, with Gabrielle Union and Sandra Bullock among the night's presenters. Fans at home are encouraged to vote for their favorite athletes at ESPYs.com anytime before the show starts. In Los Angeles, Romina Puga, ABC News.
And you can settle in for a full night of inspiring stories and a look back at the most exciting moments in sports when the ESPYs air live at 8 p.m. on RTV6, followed by the news at 11.
Some tough times to the south. You can walk upstairs, as you know, or you can walk down them. But in this case, you just have to be able to swim down these stairs. This video from New Orleans, where flooding has been a major issue for the last couple of weeks. Flooding turned a hotel stairway into a raging waterfall. No injuries were reported. Of course, we've seen a lot of rain here, both in May and June, but now it's the humidity, Amanda.
It's hot.
That's smacking us in the head, saying, hey, welcome to summer.
Like a brick wall right there.
And so we'll have a transition tomorrow to more comfortable humidity levels. Then it comes back up again over the weekend. When it rains, it pours. That's the case this afternoon, too, in all this humidity. But if we don't see rain today, and not all of us will, you see where we're headed Thursday through Monday. Dry. Most of the entire 7-day forecast, obviously dry. Okay, Lafayette today hit 94, the actual temperature, a heat index of 105. Indianapolis also shared a heat index of 105. That is warm. As you look at the radar, we're going to zero in on some of the heavier downpours near Hartford City. That'll move into Jay County just west of Portland. You're getting a little rain there near Muncie. We slide to the west, Burlington, over toward Kokomo, come into western Howard County, and across 31 here in a little bit. Also just southwest of Delphi, a little thunderstorm popping up there. This is ahead of a cold front, which will give us a break from the heat and humidity the next couple of days before temperatures come back up. Any one of these will have heavy downpours of rain. They're not moving that quickly, and the stronger storms could produce some strong winds. That's the main threat from any isolated severe storms. 93 current temperature in Muncie and in Peru. 92 in Terre Haute. Temperatures will be cooling down from Lafayette toward Peru as you have the approach of thunderstorms. Throw in the heat index values. Still triple digits are quite common for the heat index value as the air is quite tropical. I love this. Look at Reggie striking a pose there. He's got his elbow on the kneecap.
I like his little t-shirt or sweatshirt or...
Yeah, that's an earlier time. Yeah, he was working out. But you do not go out with any extra clothing on today, Reg. Just relax, buddy. Chance for thunderstorms through sunset. Then I think they'll begin to diminish as we go through the overnight. It stays warm. 7 o'clock, downpours around the metro area. As we get to 9, shifting everything a little more to the south. By 11 o'clock, from Bloomington to Greensburg south, thunderstorms, and then we calm it down overnight. Plan your Thursday with lower humidity and more comfortable temperatures. A 2-day break from the heat, really. Temperatures mid-80s tomorrow with a mixture of clouds and sunshine. That's everywhere, and the wind will be more out of the northwest. Thursday and Friday dry, as well as the weekend. Here's your 7-day planner. Plan on temperatures right at 90 degrees until further notice once we get there Saturday through the weekend into early next week. Day 1 of weather camp today. We were at the College Avenue Library branch. We have some fun with dangerous things like exploding eggs and talk about pressure and how we can change the pressure. That's Jen Ranley from the Center for Earth and Environmental Science who joined me as well. We had tornado demonstrations, lightning, a lot going on, and we will feature more, kind of an extended. So I'm talking to you kids at Red Camp. Set your DVRs, baby. Hit the button to record. You'll see yourself on TV at 6.
Bring an experiment here.
I want to do some
I am a walking experiment.
All right, we'll see what happens. Still to come, an update on the status of a downtown fixture. Find out what happened when a community effort to keep Ann dancing, it went national. Details next, right here on the News at 5.
A very good day to you. I'm Julie Grant with Court TV, and wow, is it a busy day here as we are covering 2 huge trials for you. Today in Florida versus Scott Edward Nelson, the jury will have to consider whether the convicted murderer deserves to spend the rest of his life in prison or die by lethal injection. Both sides gave passionate closing arguments. The verdict form is a long one. There are 54 mitigating factors and 7 aggravating factors that the jury will consider. Nelson, we know, brutally killed Jennifer Lynn Fulford back in 2017. As soon as we have a verdict, we will bring it to you live. Also, we are covering a heartbreaking trial out of Georgia. 91-year-old Adam Bennett was allegedly beaten to death by the person who was supposed to be caring for him. Landon Terrell worked at the assisted living facility where Bennett was a resident. Now Terrell is on trial for murder. We'll be bringing you gavel-to-gavel live coverage and legal analysis all throughout the day, right here on Court TV Live. I'm Julie Grant. Now back to you in the studio.
Thank you, Julie, and follow every step in this case and many other major trials and court cases 24/7 on CourtTV.com. Well, the crowd has spoken, and it looks like Ann will keep dancing in downtown Indy.
She has all the moves. The Indianapolis Cultural Trail says the crowdfunding portion of the Keep Ann Dancing campaign has raised nearly $200,000. The donations came from 1,200 individual donors from 32 states.
Wow.
Along with corporate contributions, there's now enough money to replace the popular art installation on Mass Ave with new technology and hardware. It will also be used to establish a maintenance fund to keep Ann dancing for many years to come. We miss Ann. We can't wait for her return. She had all the moves.
She does. We can all learn a little bit, too, from that. Well, coming up all new at 6, teacher and bus driver. One school district is offering to pay teachers to also drive buses to ease the shortage. How that would work, new at 6.
But first, on the Now with Indy with Amanda, more construction will make it more complicated to get around the west side of Indianapolis. What's closed and how you can get around all of those cone zones. You're watching RTV6.